how much do you and the coaching staff kind of know what the two deep is going to look like when you enter fall camp, and how much is there room for guys to jump up, maybe surprise you?
We kind of have an idea because we had spring ball. The issue is when you're putting in the new guys that are coming in for the new time into the program, giving them a fair shot, and then kind of looking at what you start moving. There's pieces that can be moved around, and there's guys that have to compete for their starting spots. So that's kind of what it is. I like to think I told the team that we feel like we have more than 11 starters on each side of the ball, and if we can get 123 of them, that'd be great. But right now, we're trying to get as many as possible, and seeing what type of packages and personnel groups we can put together.
Watching you watch your offense, how do you feel about it? Especially the last 20 minutes that we were able to see.
Yeah, I feel good with the offense. I feel good with the progress that they're making day to day, and obviously, we're taking advantage of all the time we have on the field. But been pleased with the way the coaches are working with the players and the leadership that I'm seeing from the team. So I think they're doing exactly what we expect them to do right now.
When you talked, so last year's had a relatively healthy season overall in terms of personnel, but previous to that, you've had injuries in March. Most of the seasons you had to that point. Do you feel like you need to point back to that in terms of you saying with having more than 11 starters? Is, hey, you guys need to be ready in case we do lose X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, and I think last year that we had those opportunities where we had some games under control and had guys, giving guys the opportunity to be on the field in game reps. So that's the key is to try to get them all ready to play, and you obviously don't want any injuries to happen, and so I think we have to do our best as coaches and looking at the pitch count for the quarterbacks, how many plays they can actually sling the ball, and trying to make sure that we're protecting them, but also making sure our guys are in the best shape of their lives, and that they're in a position where fatigue won't be a factor in their injuries. So the game's physical enough where injuries can happen, but I think we've got to do our part to try to find ways to keep them healthy. But that you say that, and then you want to be aggressive and be practice tackling, things like that. But I think there's ways around it, and I think we have a really innovative coaching staff that can figure out ways to break down certain type of movements where we can keep our players healthy. And when there's time to take advantage of the 100% reps, we'll do that.
How much live work do you anticipate doing?
Enough, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many. There's enough guys out there that have played enough plays that I don't know if they need to see a full game's worth of it. But there's going to be times that we're going to need to see guys go live. How much all depends on the experience and what we've seen so far in the first part of camp.
Even though you're still early in camp, do you feel on schedule in terms of how you like things to look right now?
Yeah, I really do. I feel good with the install. There's been a lot of effort going into when to do things, how to do our practices, the type of intensity that we're going to have, the tempo. And so I feel really good about the connection that we have with our players, and then also with our training room, with our weight room. So I think we're in a good spot right now. I mean, it's only practice number 4 today, so we'll just take advantage of all of them before we get to that game in Vegas.
How are Coach Funk and Coach Kalani fit?
Great. Yeah, those guys are they're professionals. They know what they're doing. They've been in a lot of different places, have tons of experience. And the part I like the most is that I see the connection that they have with their players. They do a great job communicating to them the standard that they have, and it's been nice to see from the linebacking room and also from the O-line.
What are the best attributes of the 3 quarterbacks vying to be the starter?
Win, score points, and win. That's what it is. I mean, I don't know if we need to break it down other than we're going to have the best leader out there that can put us in a position to score as many points as we can. And that's going to be the bottom line.
You've got a lot of running backs on this roster. You have your top 2 coming back this year, guys like Hinkley, Rapati, you got Jackson McChesney coming back off injury. How do you feel like you're going to be able to balance reps, or will you balance reps just given the guys like Tyler?
We'll see. I mean, if our biggest problem with the running back room and other position groups is that how are we going to get enough reps for all of them, then that's a great problem to have. And so we'll figure it out. I know that they're all great teammates, and you watch them, the way they work together. They're competing for reps, obviously, and for carries and for game time. But They're really close friends. Those guys all love each other, and they're following the leadership that you're seeing from Tyler and from Lopini. So it'd be nice to have that problem in every position group.
Have there been any season-ending injuries in camp so far?
No, not yet. Hopefully we don't see it. You're just trying to jinx us on that.
For
Go
these
ahead.
other position group battles, what are you most looking at in terms of practices to determine who's winning these spots and getting these reps?
Probably so much going into it rather than just. I don't know if I can explain it in a quick 30-second segment. Other than we want our guys to be as the best that we can, and I don't know if it's a certain checklist that we have. Other than we're gonna play the best, and if they both happen to be really really good, we'll find a role for both of them.
So have you decided when your first scrimmage will be, or have you had it yet?
We'll probably do some. We can't do live stuff yet, but we'll probably look at some live stuff when you guys aren't able to watch it. So no, I don't. I think we'd like to see some live work, probably towards the end of this week.
What's been the response to the new locker room? I know, like for you as coaches as well for players. I know it's new, but what's the response?
I just like that they can charge their phones while their lockers are closed and secure. That's about it. I'm sick of seeing extension cords and stuff like that out there. So it's a simple fix for me. I mean, the guys appreciate everything that went into getting them that locker room, and then I just like seeing them happy. But it's a locker room. It'd be just fine. It's the other part I like is that the smell. They have this system in it that can take the smell out of the locker room. So yeah, maybe I am really happy about that thing. So if we could figure that out for the smoke outside, so we can go practice outside, that'd be nice. So we can start. I don't know. Let's pray for a windstorm to take all the smoke out.
Kalani,
Yes.
He's one of those guys that came back from.
What's up, boys?
He's one of those guys that came back for an additional year. What can he and the others like him add to the team with that experience?
Yeah, he's been around. He's been in the program for a long time. So him and Lopa are the two that come to mind that are that can help us with our culture, especially teaching the younger guys. I think we've recruited and brought in some really good kids that fit our system really well, but it's just having more of those guys that can kind of echo what the coaches and what the leaders are saying. That's a big factor, and having those guys back is huge, especially when everyone else is returning. A lot of their guys, it's good to have some of those guys that have been through it and been through a lot of football and a lot of games with us here at BYU.
When you're choosing a starting quarterback, how much does kind of leadership off the field, kind of a guy that can rally the troops, how much does that play into your decision?
Well, all three of those guys can do that. So I don't know if one's better than the other. I'm glad that we have this problem with three guys that can play, and I'm seeing some really good things from the other guys as well. So I mean, right now, because all three of those guys handle that stuff really well, it's what I want to see on the field and what I want to see in the meeting rooms and seeing how they kind of connect with A-Rod. That's going to be the key that separates one from the other.
What have you seen Preston Hadley that made you feel, I don't know if comfortable is the right word, but feel good or interested in having him coach a different position group on the defense?
Yeah, because he's willing to learn. Our culture is about love and learn, and he's a good example of that. And he loves the players. He's willing to learn. It's nice to have someone that knows your system in the back end that you can. And we do a lot of stuff with our ends as far as dropping coverage and a lot of different packages that we bring in. So having someone that has that knowledge of being in the back end and knowing what the coverage is, it allows the players a little bit more opportunity to learn more about the game. And so that's the key. I think sometimes the D linemen get focused on what they only do and don't understand what happens in the back end. And Preston brings that, and he's got a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience in his playing and coaching days. So I think giving him a clean slate and learning a different position, two things allows E to just teach him what he wants, and then it allows us to have a different mind, a different perspective being in the room.
Kalani, in your experience, have you ever been in a camp where a player who was maybe a little lower down the depth chart is so good in camp that he actually maybe takes a spot that maybe people didn't think he would.
Yeah, I mean that happens. You know, I see a lot of those examples of that. I mean, there's a lot of guys that you can see whether it's opportunities because of injury or because they start to really the light goes on for them and they just figure it out and the game becomes a lot easier for them. We're trying to have those moments for all those guys, and we'll see. But I have to be open, and our coaches have to be open to the fact that anybody can earn the spot and make a lot of improvement in the time that we've given them, and now it's this month going into the game.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, appreciate it.